감사합니다. 네, 이렇게 많은 뜨거운 호응을 받으니까 또 저 또한 기분이 좋습니다. K-스타트업 그랜드 챌린지 2020 데모데이의 사회를 맡은 조주연입니다. 인사드리겠습니다. 네, 고맙습니다. 정보통신산업진흥원이 주관하고 또 중소벤처기업부가 주최하는 K-스타트업 그랜드 챌린지 2020 데모데이는요. 전 세계적으로 118개국에서 2,648개 기업들이 치열한 경쟁을 통해서 그중에서 또 최종 55개 기업이 선발이 되었습니다. 그리고 그 55개 기업이 3개월 반 동안의 여정을 오늘 마무리하는 그런 날입니다. 그래서 그만큼 더 감흥이 새롭고 또 뜻깊을 것 같은데요. 오늘 계속해서 많은 응원 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 그럼 본 행사를 시작하기에 앞서서 K-스타트업 그랜드 챌린지 그간의 여정을 먼저 영상으로 보시겠습니다. 네, 영상 잘 보셨죠? 사실 이 영상을 통해서 얼마나 열기가 또 뜨거웠는지 잘 느낄 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 특히나 올해는 코로나19 감염병의 확산으로 인해서 참 쉽지만은 않았을 것 같은데요. 그럼에도 불구하고 스타트업들의 그 열정은 식을 줄 몰랐던 것 같습니다. 그리고 행사 관계자분들 지금까지 성공적으로 이끌어주신 데에 대해서 다시 한번 감사드리겠습니다. 그럼 본 행사를 시작하기에 앞서서 행사를 이끌어주신 정보통신산업진흥원의 김창용 원장님 개회사를 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 뜨거운 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다.
안녕하십니까. 반갑습니다. 정보통신산업진흥원장 김창룡입니다. 이 번역이 되는 거죠? 네. 먼저 그 2020년 K 스타트업 글랜드 챌린지 데모대에 모이신 여러분 참 잘 오셨습니다. 환영합니다. 올해로 그 그랜드 챌린지는 5회째입니다. 전 세계에서 우수 창업 아이템을 보유한 외국인 기술 창업자를 발굴해서 국내 유치를 추진하고 있습니다. 금년에는 코로나19의 여파로 세계 경제가 상당히 위축된 상황임에도 불구하고 역대 최대 규모인 118개국 2,648개 팀이 신청을 해주셨습니다. 그래서 우리 그 대통령님께서도 상당히 좋은 성과라고 칭찬을 하셨다고 들었습니다. 제가 생각해도 정말 그 큰 성과가 아닐 수 없습니다. 여기 우리 이 행사를 준비해 주신 여러분께 다시 한번 감사의 말씀을 좀 드리고요. 팡교 스타트업이 입주 혜택을 받아서 그 국내 엑셀러레이팅에 참여를 했습니다. 거기에 팡교 55개 팀이 지금 입주해 있고요. 그 팀들은 아까도 얘기했지만 55대 1이라는 큰 경쟁률을 뚫고 사실 거기 입주한 것만 해도 상당한 성공이 아닌가 이렇게 생각이 듭니다. 오늘 여러분이 그간 쌓아오신 노력의 결과를 선보이게 되는 그런 날입니다. 2000년대 초반 등장했던 사물 인터넷이나 클라우드 컴퓨팅, 인공지능, 빅데이터 솔루션, 블록체인 등 첨단 정보통신 플랫폼은 코로나 이후에 언택트 사회의 기술 수요 증가와 맞물려 가파르게 성장을 하고 있습니다. 올해 K 스타트업 그랜드 챌린지에 선정된 창업 아이템도 비대면 관련 분야가 상당 부분을 이루고 있습니다. 특히 저희 나이파에서도 주력하는 AI 관련 분야가 가장 많은 비중을 차지하고 있습니다. 디지털 사회로의 전환이 빠르게 진행되고 있다는 방증이지 싶습니다. 3일 동안 진행되는 데모데이에서 우수한 30개 팀이 선정되면 후속 지원이 시작되는데요. 지난 4년간 후속 지원을 받은 100개 팀 가운데 무려 89개사가 국내 법인을 설립을 했습니다. 올해 선정된 55개 해외 참가팀 모두에게도 좋은 성과를 기대를 합니다. 오늘 이 자리에서 보여준 기술 진보의 과정과 성과물이 사회 문제를 해결하는 혁신으로 이루어지도록 한국을 글로벌 최고의 스타트업 비즈니스 허브로 만들 수 있도록 저희 나이파가 함께 노력을 하겠습니다. 이 자리에 우리 모두가 함께 할 수 있도록 혁신적인 창업 아이템 발굴 보유기에 힘써주신 중소벤처부와 관계자 여러분들, 보이지 않는 곳에서 애써주시는 스태프분들 참 수고 많으셨습니다. 박수 한번 쳐주시죠. 박수 받으신 만큼 남은 과정도 잘 마무리해 주시기 부탁드립니다. 마지막으로 수많은 방역 전문가들은 코로나 이전 세상으로 이제는 돌아갈 수 없다고 말을 합니다. 돌아갈 수 없다면 우리는 새로운 현실에 적응을 해야 된다고 생각합니다. K 스타트업 글랜드 챌린지에 모인 여러분들이 비대면이 일상화된 코로나 시대에도 사람과 사람의 온기를 잇는 온택트 기술의 주인공이 되기를 진심으로 바라겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 원장님 좋은 말씀 감사합니다. 네, 원장님께서도 말씀을 하셨듯이 사실 이번 해에 참가하는 분들은 좀 쉽지만은 않으셨을 것 같습니다. 하지만 그만큼 더 뜻깊고 의미 있는 행사가 되지 않을까 생각을 합니다. 그리고 앞으로도 더욱더 승승장구하시길 저도 같이 기원을 하겠습니다. 네, 그럼 오늘은 3일 동안 진행되는 데모데이의 첫 번째 날인데요. 네, 본격적인 피칭을 시작하기에 앞서서 제가 이제 영어로 전환을 해서 말씀드리겠습니다. 혹시라도 통역이 필요하신 분들께서는 다시 한번 통역 수신기를 활용해 주시고 채널 1번이 한국어, 채널 2번이 영어입니다. And now, from now on, I will like to switch over to English and proceed with our pitching. Before I commence with some of the housekeeping announcements, I must mention that we have a panel of 6 judges here today to take us through the evaluations in a fair and objective manner. I'm sure that the days ahead, including today, will not be too easy for you to evaluate all of the companies. But nevertheless, we ask for you to evaluate them in a fair and objective manner. So all of our teams will be graded or given the points as a sum of all of the 6 judges' points together, and that will be the result that we will see on the final day. And for those of you who will be doing the pitches, you do have a screen in front of you that has the countdown clock starting from 5 minutes. You'll have 5 minutes for pitching and also 5 minutes for Q&A. Once your 5 minutes are up for the pitching, then your microphone will automatically turn off. The same goes for the Q&A. After your 5 minutes are over, your microphone will automatically be muted. So please bear that in mind while you make your pitches. And with that, I believe that it is time to introduce our first pitch. I believe that they're quite nervous because of they're going first, but nevertheless, please give them a big round of applause. The first team is 48 Hour Discovery Inc. Please give them a big round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Radmir Durla, and I'm a professor of chemistry and the founder and CEO of 48 Hour Discovery. I'm going to tell you about a joint venture that we formed with a Korean partner called Quantum Intelligence Corporation. So we are a 4-year-old company incorporated in 2017 with $2 million in finances and $3 million in direct revenue. Our business is using genetically encoded libraries of molecules to provide leads to global pharmaceutical companies. So far, we closed 16 contracts and work with 5 global pharma. Our partner is one of the most exciting AI drug discovery companies in Korea. They're fairly young, but they already closed $2 million in private equity and $1 million in TIPS funding. And they use a combination of quantum mechanics and deep neural nets to predict the properties of therapeutic drugs. I'm very proud to be part of a very exciting team. We have members with the training in the best universities in the world, Oxford, Harvard. We have people who worked in Kakao, Naver, and Pfizer. And the team that's leading the new venture in Korea are the professionals in investment business. So the CEO is Kurt Ko from the Synergy IB Investment, VC. And then our business advisor is right here, Michael Hwan. So with the team like that, we're set to address one of the most difficult questions in the future medicines. What do we do if we have the next molecular target? The new disease will appear tomorrow. Diseases will be a never-ending market. New diseases will be discovered every year. The targets for them will be not known before, and these targets will require so-called ligands, molecules that can bind and block to these targets. Again, we will not be able to repurpose existing drugs. This is not a repurposing business. We'll have to discover brand new molecules that can bind and block them in order to develop drug leads, diagnostics, imaging agents, or delivery agents. 48 Hour Discovery up to today was working in a relatively small $21 billion market of peptide-derived therapeutics, but with the help of the AI and the merger with the Korean company, we'll be able to move into a $1 trillion small molecule market. You're going to hear lots of AI talks today, tomorrow, day after, and there's no doubt that AI is the future of drug discovery. We're lucky to work with the most advanced AI technology to date coming from quantum intelligence. Again, it's a combination of quantum mechanics and deep neural nets to do regression analysis and predict pretty much every property you want for the future drug. But when I talk to our partner and I ask, what's the major barrier for expansion of this best-in-class AI to the global market, the answer is first-in-class targets. First-in-class targets are targets for which there is no data, no prior data, no structural data. And you don't have to know anything about AI, but if you don't have data, you can't train neural nets. And basically, that's how AI works. Without the data, you can't start, you cannot predict, you cannot build a model, and you cannot predict that. We saw this as an amazing business opportunity. At 48 Discovery, we generate data for any targets, first-in-class or otherwise. If it can be shipped to us by mail, we'll take it out of the mailbox, dip it in a solution that has billions of molecules, use the DNA sequencer to analyze it, push it through the cloud, and return the results to our clients who are generally interested in therapeutic and diagnostic and imaging development. But at this point, we're going to use it as a starting point to jumpstart the drug discovery using AI. So we handle molecules in a different way from the way molecules are typically handled. Traditional pharma handles molecules just like books in the library, separate compounds in separate tubes, separate books on different shelves. We put billions of molecules into the same tube, we code them with DNA, and we're able to increase the throughput from thousands to billions while simultaneously decreasing the cost from $1 million to just $50,000 or $100,000. Technology works, it's a commercial success. We've been doing contracts with 5 major pharma, 4 of them in the top 20. I can't disclose who they are, but we had $1 million revenue last year and more than $1.2 million already secured for next year. This is a self-sustaining platform with returning customers, but most importantly, this platform will be able to jumpstart and fix the biggest hole in AI drug discovery business. We're going to use data generated by our platform to train models for the first-in-class targets, thereby enabling the predictions that would not be accessible to any other AI companies in the world. We'll be able to beam the data back from Canada to enable the start of Korean AI and the global spreading. And I'm going to leave you with these take-home messages, which I only have 7 seconds to cover. But maybe we'll just keep them on the screen, and we have our team on another.
And that is your 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please give another big round of applause. And now, judges, if you have any questions, the 5 minutes start now.
Thank you very much. My name is Ogan Gurel. So very interesting. I have 2 questions. One is business related. The other one's a little bit more technical. The first question is there are quite a few AI-driven drug discovery companies.
Yes.
There's in Singapore, in the West Coast. What is your distinguishing feature? My second question is a little bit technical in that these targets are proteins and they have dynamics. And one of the key areas is to not just docking and so forth, but how do you account for the dynamics?
I love your second question. I'm going to try to answer first. Can we have the slide back on the screen? Because that last slide that I just paused on. This is where I can explain the competitive advantage. Again, as I mentioned in my talk, if you want to approach first-in-class target that has no structural data and has no prior molecular data for it, you can't train any neural nets for it. Neural nets require about minimum 1,000 data points. So somebody has to make 1,000 molecules and measure them in order to start making predictions. And companies like Schrödinger, Atomwise, everybody, you take the best AI in the world, you can't bypass the need for the initial data point. So our unique advantage is that we combine generation of this new data in a very short period of time, a matter of days, and plugging this data that comes out of the genetically encoded pipeline with the AI. And there are companies that do genetically encoded drug discovery, PeptiDream, Bicycle Therapeutics, and others. There are companies that do AI, but I think from my knowledge, we're going to be the first that are going to merge 2 technologies. We have the first mover advantage. There's probably going to be companies like us in a year or 2 or 3, and this will become the standard of care. So we have to do it fast, and we have to patent the way how deep sequencing data from genetically discovery data can be used to train neural nets, because today this technology doesn't exist. and we'll be the first on the market. From the dynamics perspective, the data comes from real experiments, so we're not using simulation data, we actually use real data, and that probably will take care of the dynamics and all. The molecules we're going to work with are conformationally constrained. I can give you a 45-minute lecture on that, but we take care to make sure that the ensemble that we're sampling in the molecular space is fairly small, so we don't deal with floppy peptides. And can I take the next question? Because I'll probably take the whole time in answering this one.
So just to summarize, you are in effect generating the data with this system.
Yes, we generate real data with real proteins and real molecules, and that generated data will be used to feed into the neural net training model to make predictions.
Any other questions? We have 2 minutes on the clock. Judges, was that clear enough for you? If you do not have any other questions, yes, I believe we have one question.
Just further from the previous question, I understand you provide the unique data that you generate yourself, but still, you're from Canada. Montreal is a great AI hub where there are a lot of AI researchers. There are also a lot of other AI researchers in the West. I understand there are great researchers here, but is QID the reason why you're here in Korea? I would like to know that, and also, if not, why are you here?
Honest answer, yes, QID is pretty much the only reason I came to Korea. We were invited by a local VC who started a company, VC fund in Edmonton, and he invited us to come to Korea to specifically meet them. I respect Joshua, Pangyo, and everybody, the team in Toronto. I think Canada has amazing AI, but when it comes to AI of prediction of molecules and 3D structures and dynamics and conformations, it's not the same as doing, let's say, neural net image prediction or sound. This is a different area of expertise, and there's not much of that type of expertise in Canada, to my knowledge. So from the point of predicting molecular data from training these kind of conformational ensembles and feeding them, this is so far the best that can be achieved in the world from what I know. So it makes a lot of sense for us to partner. Plus, by combining Canadian business and Korean business, we kind of traverse around the globe. So we have North American capture and APAC capture, and it's a bit of a business opportunity where we can represent each other's efforts on 3 continents simultaneously. Whereas if we just do Canada with Canada with Canada partnership, we don't have as much exposure to the rest of the world.
I believe that was a perfect end to all your time. You have 5 seconds left on the clock. Thank you very much for a great first presentation. So indeed, a great way to start off or kick off on our pitches. Moving on swiftly to the next team. The next team is ANEA. So please give them a big round of applause.
Hello everybody, I'm so happy to be here and thrilled to introduce you our company, ANEA. I'm David, business developer here of this German software company founded in 2019, and together in this team of international experts from the fields of data sciences and engineering, we ask you, why do you think renewable energies are still not competitive enough to the current fossil fuels? I mean, wind and solar and free, right? Actually, renewable energies are very expensive. There are a lot of reasons why, but mainly it's because of the classical maintenance approach, which is very time-based and costly, and not appropriate for this type of assets. They bring a lot of unplanned downtime, high maintenance operations and maintenance costs, and some of the assets are working in and operating in underperformance conditions, which brings extra energy losses. In Europe, there's a loss of profit of 1,200 euros for the renewable energy assets owners per day that the assets are not operating. That's a lot of money. So our solution is a platform to bring condition-based predictive maintenance that gives detailed information on the health status of every component in the asset. This, thanks to us, we can bring down the unplanned downtime, bring down the costs up to 20%, and increase the performance up to 15%. How do we do this? We have this IoT platform that predicts mechanical failures before they occur and allows to increase the performance. Our core business until now has been the wind energy. We get the data from the sensors already installed in the wind turbines. We create digital twins. We use edge computing whenever it's necessary. We do the failure prediction and the underperformance detection, and we deliver the results of our algorithms in a very friendly user interface to our customers. I have said a lot of buzzwords in the last few slides, but how are we different? I mean, we don't only go to the root, we don't only say that there will be a problem, but we go to the root cause of it. We say which component will fail, when, why, and how can our customers prevent it. Our business model is a software as a service. We charge our customers per monitored asset per unit of time. We usually point out here that our platform has paid off if we save 1 day of downtime per turbine per year. Here you see these two numbers. This is a real case, a real project that we just recently finished in Spain in a wind farm of 20 turbines. Our customer was spending this in operations and maintenance costs, this number to the, this number here, and after us, thanks to us, he saw, even after paying our solution, a 57% reduction. That's really, we were very happy to see this. Wind energy market is growing and is going big. Over 400,000 wind turbines are installed globally. We have been focusing on the European market, and in the end of the year, we're already closing contracts outside of Europe, and thanks to this program, looking forward for the Korean and Asian market. Here you can see some of our KPIs, the years of research, the number of assets that we have analyzed so far, the days we can predict before a failure will occur, the days compared to our competitors, and the percentage of false positives in our predictions. And here, your right, you can see some of the companies and partners whom we work with who see this and really appreciate it. 2020 for us, full speed ahead. I mean, we started a recurring revenue in the beginning of the year. We got a funding from the German government. We started already in the solar sector with Bosch. And from June till now, we have been in contact and collaboration with different companies. And why Korea? You guys, technological world leader. With our technology, you can become pioneers in the renewable energy sector. 2030 goal, new Green Deal, huge potential for us. And the location and the ideal startup environment, we want to become the Asian hub of operations, Korea. Our development in Korea these 2 months has been contacting really great, getting to know new business opportunities, getting to know what opportunities we have here, and definitely this is the energy we're looking for. We're looking for partnerships and conversations. I'll be around if you need, and thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, please.
Perfect allocation of time. You still had a couple of seconds left. And now over to our judges. Your 5 minutes starts now.
So I had a question. Thank you very much. Very good presentation. So you mentioned briefly false positives. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, and also false negatives and what that means for your business in terms of...
Yeah, we get the data. We do the predictions. We develop our algorithms, and we say we get this information and the output. There's a 98% because of the behavior of this component that in 6 months there will be a failure in the wind turbine in the gearbox, for example, because of oil pressure. So we got this percentage of false positives that this prediction was not right, 0.009%, as well as false negatives that nothing will occur, but it did happen. How we start our business is with pilot projects. We get first the data. We feel very confident of our solution. So we get all the data before of 5 years of operations of the renewable energy assets. And we go through our algorithm. And we say they have already this data from the last 2 years. And we give a report of the number of failures that will happen. And that's how we can compare this percentage of false positives.
But the false negatives, if you don't pick up an event, that could be a big problem. So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, also as well as false positive, false negatives. But false negatives is way less than the false positive, so we didn't bring it to mention. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the panel of judges? Yes, please.
There must be many different manufacturers for different components.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? When you say you collect the data from past history, it would seem that there are many factors that would be difficult to analyze or to fully assess unless you have experience with a wide range of manufactured different components and
Yeah.
how they go together. How do you deal with that issue?
In Europe, it really depends. We have found out our experience has been that every wind farm deals different with the manufacturer contracts. So the access to data is very different according to how they do. And of course, the manufacturers are not very happy to hear that the components will fail in 1 or 2 months. So it has been really we were actually starting conversations also with wind turbines manufacturers as also as solar inverters to bring the service with them as part of their warranty services. So it's a way for us to build partnerships together.
Did that answer your question?
No, maybe not.
Yes, you were hesitant. So yes, again, the microphone goes to you.
So that's, I guess, partly a response. Maybe I just don't understand how your technology works, but I would think that you would need more data than available just from samples of different locations. Then, do you know how large the universe is? Other manufacturers, other products? What sort of subset or what percentage of the market have you already analyzed to show that even if you look at new equipment, new
I
providers,
think, yeah. We get the data from the actual wind turbines. We first run our algorithms with the data that we get from the actual, it's a personalized platform. So it's not that we use another data. The thing is, with renewable energy assets, each one has a unique identity because they're in a unique position. So you cannot really use data from other places to bring the algorithms. So we need previous data from those. So we run it. We need at least 1 year in the solar industry and 2 in the wind energy industry. And then we can do the predictions.
I think we had one question from the gentleman in the front. Okay, okay. Anyone at the back? 1 minute to go.
So I wanted to follow up on that false positive, false negative, because the whole automation and AI, for example, the 737 MAX disaster, the sensors were wrong and all that. So what is your quality control element of that? Because people will depend on you.
Yeah. I mean, the process how we start conversations with a possible customer, we first get the data and we run it through analysis. We have an automated analysis to decide if we can really work out with the data. And from that point, we deliver the results. But first, of course, there's a really first pre-processing of the data to check if we can really get it from the sensors. Yeah.
Hope that answered your question. I think you have 30 seconds. So any very quick questions, yes or no questions from the judges? If not, I believe that would be all for our session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you once again for the 2 great presentations and the 2 great Q&A sessions. Once again, just a reminder for the pitches that are coming up, you do have 5 minutes for your pitch and 5 minutes for Q&A. So please bear that in mind. With that, I believe it's time to break for lunch to store up on a little bit of energy before we move on ahead with the afternoon pitches. So from now on until 1:30 p.m., we will take a break for lunch, ladies and gentlemen. Please do enjoy your lunch, and I will see you back here at 1:30. Thank you.